So this is the starter after between 12 and 24 hours. So I did this yesterday in the afternoon. So it's basically closer to 24 hours that I have had it like this. Essentially what I did yesterday was I took the sachet of the starter, which is a very tiny sachet, put it in this glass jar, mixed it with 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Once that was kind of dissolved, then I added a tablespoon of strong kind of bread flour and then a tablespoon of wholemeal flour. And then when I mix that together, I put this muslin over the top of the mason jar and then just secured it with a rubber band, and then I left it in. So she says to leave it in a kind of a warm at least 21 degrees Celsius. So I put it in the hot press last night. So now I'm going to continue feeding it, and how I do that is I am going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water now, and then I'm just going to allow that to dissolve. And once that dissolves, then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of strong flour and 2 tablespoons of wholemeal flour. And then when I stir that, then I'm going to put it back into the hot press overnight. So the idea is that you're just adding to it slowly. So I will show you once it's done and basically the consistency. So what she says is you basically have to have the consistency of like a thick batter, which is what we have now. I just basically stirred it vigorously with all of those different flours added in the water. And now I'm going to cover it again and put it back into the hot press for again another, she says 12 to 24 hours. So I'm going to try it again, maybe just slightly earlier tomorrow. Hey guys, so here we are, day 3 in making the sourdough starter, and it's coming along really, really well. So now I'm going to keep feeding it. So what I'm going to do is I've just filled up a quarter of a cup of room temperature water, which I'm just going to add in now. And then once I add that in, I'm going to just stir the mixture. So once that's dissolved, we're going to add 17 grams each of strong flour and 17 grams of wholemeal flour. So I've measured that already. And now I'm just going to do the wholemeal flour. And then we are going to once again stir that. And then we're going to put it back into the, I'm keeping mine in the hot press. Just stir it, keep in the hot press, and then we will be feeding it again tomorrow. So again, they say 12 to 24 hours. Hey guys, here we are again, day 4 of feeding the starter. So now we are going to put in a half a cup of room temperature water, which I'm going to do now. And then once I do that, I'm going to stir vigorously and then add my flour. So after stirring my water, I now have just put in my flour. So basically I used a quarter cup of wholemeal flour and a quarter cup of strong flour. And then again, I'm going to stir and again, put the muslin over again and put it in the hot press for another 24 hours. Hey guys, this is day 5 of the starter. So this is what it looks like now. I just took the muslin off, and I'm going to, it calls to discard most of the starter except for 34 grams. So basically I'm going to just save 34 grams of the starter, and then I'm going to feed it again like I did in the previous step. So that means half a cup of room temperature water, and then a quarter cup of plain flour, a quarter cup of wholemeal flour. So this is my 34 grams of starter. I just basically measured it out, and then I cleaned this mason jar again, put it back in, and now I'm going to add the half a cup of the room temperature water, and I'm going to stir then. It says stir vigorously like in the previous step. And once I stir that, then I'm going to add my flour. So I've just added the 34 grams of plain flour and 34 grams of the wholemeal flour. I'm going to mix this again, and then I'm going to put the muslin over it, put it back into the hot press, and do it again another 24 hours. Essentially, I'll be discarding it again. So I will talk you through that.